Hi Scorpios, welcome to your reading for July. How are my Scorpios doing? I hope you are doing well. I hope this full moon in Capricorn didn't kick your ass. I'm sorry, but it's quite an intense full moon. Always during Cancerian season, it's just a little bit more intense because, the moon is a ruler of Cancers, and you guys are a fellow water sign, and so the waters within my rise here and there. Now, I do feel, and I have to say, the moment I started recording, the cat actually that's in the room with me got up and walked over to the mirror and was now sitting right in front of the mirror staring at itself. And never really does that. So it's like, there's something, I feel that I have to talk to about with Scorpios. just looking in the mirror a little bit this month. Just being conscious. Because obviously you guys are just who you are, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But just so you know, everybody can be a little bit more sensitive. And so it's not about what you're saying or what you're doing. It's just the way you do it. And then when it comes to Cancers as well, it's like you can almost talk about anything with a Cancerian. Like you can literally just talk about anything. But it's very important how you say it. The intention behind it, but also the words you use and the tone. And the timing. And that's a little bit within everyone right now. So it doesn't mean you can't have those conversations. Doesn't mean you can't express yourself, because you should. If something's bothering you, just express yourself, obviously. But it's about being conscious, looking in the mirror, being conscious, like, okay, what energy am I coming off in? So that's just some heads up that I want to give you, because, obviously, we don't want the drama if it's not necessary. Okay. So that full moon that we just had yesterday was in your third house. So that's also the house of communication. And there might be some new boundaries set with people around you. This could be close people as well. This could be siblings, colleagues, in whatever way, shape, or form. There's like this, I feel there's a beginning of a new cycle there. And I feel for some of you there is really an event that either already took place or is going to take place that initiate this change that is just coming. The North Nodes are shifting this month. We have Venus going retrograde from July 22nd into I believe it's September 3rd, I believe. And on top of that, Scorpio, it's like understanding the role you play in the world. And you were given that role at the same time. So you don't have to become anything else but yourself. But there's multiple angles to that at the same time. And I feel like you're going to take a closer look at your day-to-day routines, your life, your health, and all of those things from July moving onwards. Also because the North Nodes are shifting into your 6th house, and then the South Node is shifting into your 12th. So I really do feel that there will be a lot of changes in your day-to-day routine, how you go about things, how you tune into things more intuitively, but also from a more conscious place, like being conscious about, okay, this is the way that I treat this, or this is the way I handle those things, because maybe there is this trigger from the past, or there's just this thing that I intend to do. Maybe in some way, shape, or form, you do self-sabotage yourself out of some area in your life or some healing. And I feel like you will have this push and this different energy that's coming to you, moving away from outside inside. It comes more from first inside then outside. Like then first you go within yourself, first you have those conversations within yourself, and then moving forward you will either express yourself or show yourself or have conversations about it. So there's a shift there, because I do feel like the last year and a half, there like outside factors just had a lot of influence on your internal world. And then sometimes we forget that we're also still there, right? We can also still give ourselves advice. We can also just check in with ourselves. We can also just meditate and become still and just let those answers come from within and then apply them on the outside world. So there's a change of inner dialogue is what I'm feeling. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but that's definitely something I'm feeling. Also, July 17th, we have the Cancer new moon, because we're, Cancerian season. So Cancer new moon is coming up on July 17th. And I feel because it's in your ninth house, it just, would be a perfect time. Like if you are, for example, a traveler, like you love traveling and maybe you haven't really been able to plan anything, or maybe some travel, something has been on your mind, like you might always wanted to go to, I don't know, Bali or India, or do like a spiritual retreat, or maybe something different, like maybe you want to go overseas, you want to go to Europe and actually visit certain cities, and it's something that's been on your kind of bucket list / to-do list for a long time. I feel like that new moon would be a great moon to set new intentions and actually try and see, okay, if I would do that, like how long would I want to go, and what type of like places would I like to stay? How would I like to travel? Do I like to, take a road trip? Or maybe I can like take a plane here and rent a camper there and drive it there. Like, is there a company out there that I can do that with? Like really taking a close look at how could I make that happen? It doesn't have to happen in a short term. It can definitely, be like, for example, maybe next year, spring season, like something like that. But to set something into motion that now and maybe like 9 months from now would, be able to come to fruition is what I'm feeling. So that might help you maybe motivate as well to then say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna set this amount of money aside every single month, and that's something that I'm gonna add to my routine, because this and that is something that I would like to do next year, and really being able to have those future focused goal setting and energies and moving towards that. So it will help you in the here and in the day-to-day feel more motivated, but also feel like more like I'm not taking this from myself. I'm actually creating something for myself. So that's something I'm feeling. So this deck just won't want, it just doesn't want to give a card. So let's just really want to hyper focus on it for a little bit. Can I get a card for Scorpios, please? I'm sorry, because the shoveling noise probably was pretty annoying for the last couple of minutes. I'm sorry if it was. All right. Sometimes the mic picks up on it very strongly. There we go. And sometimes it doesn't at all. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's move forward. Ooh, okay, now here we go. You have the full moon in Sag. The full moon in Sag. We just had that last month. So it says, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. That is great. Look at the bigger picture. That's one way to really be able to, I'm hearing, get stuff done, makes shit happen, okay? By looking at the bigger picture. So sometimes bigger picture can, for example, be like, why do we want to do that? And then it helps us focus in the moment where we're really caught up in the smaller details. And it's really important to have like sort of the bigger picture outside focus, and that's very important for you moving forward during the North Node being in your 6th and your South Node in your 12th. Like, look at the bigger picture. I do really feel that you guys have bottled up emotion, and you might have kind of been on the end of an energy source, on the end of the road, and you're kind of just going and going because you have to. You just have to. That's how I'm feeling. Like, I don't have any other choice and just go. But is there a way where you could integrate something where you can also be conscious, you can also really feel like, okay, like you can take a break here and there. You can take a breather, almost, what I'm feeling, or something that actually brings about a different source of energy. So for example, if you have to overwork a lot and, like, a lot of overtime, and it's just work, and there's just a lot going on constantly, and you can't really stop that train because that's just the phase of life that you're in right now, then maybe adding a different energy source into that is, for example, maybe changing some things in your diet, like maybe really cutting out certain sugars and things like that, and then actually adding like really high quality food and fresh greens and everything. So you in the stream and in the motion that you go, and you kind of add a new stream of energy into it, instead of really feeling like you're just going down until you, like, crash basically, and then you're done, and then you can rebuild. Maybe there is some way, shape, form. Maybe for some of you it is yoga, it is really exercising in a certain way. Maybe it's just taking a walk every single night after work, or in whatever way, shape, or form works for you. So yeah, that's just something that I'm feeling I just wanted to give to you guys. Okay, let's move forward to the tarot. Let's see what comes through. If you hear noise in the background, it's the cat. He just decided it's time to roll over. So he's moving away from the mirror. This is really a theme with you guys during this reading. This energy is like, I know you kind of just don't really want to talk. So the cards also are just like, yes, it is what it is right now. So let's see how we can sort of unload that. There we go. It's like, okay, if you have to give you something, I'll give you the Ten of Pentacles. I'm hearing I'm busy, I'm booked, okay? I'm working on my pentacles right now. I'm out there, I'm building, I want to build this future. Just understanding that there's something greater than yourself that you're doing it for. And that obviously brings about this, almost this, like, internal strength. The primal strength is what I'm hearing. Here we go. We have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Cups with the Hierophant. Some of you are walking by faith and not by sight. So there is this spiritual thing. Like, maybe you guys are just in your meditative state, and that's why there's not so much to say. But the Ace of Swords does bring a message, and I really do feel that you may have been really just caught up in life, caught up in the day-to-day, caught up in work, caught up in really earthly things, which is totally fine. But I feel like there's a side of you that feels a little bit neglected. It's like when our life is really hard, like sometimes we pray or we try to sort of, watch tarot readings or in whatever shape or form, add a little bit more of that spiritual sense of self. And then when we're busy and booked, we intend to sort of just sometimes move away from that again. But it's important to try and find a way to have some room for magic, have some room for, not only accepting what you can see that you can get, but also understanding you have a very strong power for manifestation, Scorpio. Like, you can really do manifest so much from the spiritual realm. Basically, you can manifest things into your reality. So the Chariot, the Moon card, it's talking about that. It's almost like, okay, this was just a phase in my life, and now I'm ready to sort of move into the more, like, integrate more of my spiritual sense of self back. So you might feel that pull this month, and if you do, and if you feel creatively inspired, or just whatever, you know, whatever that is for you on a personal level, integrate that. Integrate it, like, try it, do those things. Here we go. We have the Lovers and the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So for some of you, there may have been some issues inside your partnership, your relationship. If you're single, then that message isn't for you. Maybe that's a past relationship that is on your mind. I feel like you were just too occupied in order to really have those conversations, in order to really deal with the things below the surface. You're just like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. I don't have the energy right now. Let's just keep it moving. Like, you know, okay, fine. It's fine. I don't really have any energy to go against it. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just move on. Let's just, you know, like that. Because there's just so much going on in other areas of your life. But I am sensing that first there's sort of rekindling moment, and then there's this can that opens up. It's like, it's almost like you have a breather, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. I have like a lot of suppressed things that I haven't spoken about, that I haven't mentioned. I just kept it moving, and no judgment there. But moving forward, I can't just ignore that that's there and right now anymore. I need to release those cups. So that Eight of Wands and the Eight of Cups really does signify is in relation to other people. It's in relation to the things you have accepted, or the boundaries that other people may have, or that you have had. And I feel like almost like emotional wall boundaries. Like, up so far you can come, and can't reach me any deeper than this, you know. So that is something that comes with being able to sort of suppress things. Also, on the other side of the scale, things will be suppressed. You know, your ability to feel that love is also suppressed. So yeah, I really do feel that this is one of those months where you're like, okay, I can see now, I can feel it. I guess this is the moment to look at it. And there's this instant release almost, and what I'm sensing with that. You have the Six of Emotions. Memories can fill your heart with many emotions. It's important to remember it's important to remember your past accurately without seeing it as better or worse than it was. People you used to know may return to your life unexpectedly. Children could be an important issue, or you may need to reconnect with your own inner child. That's a strong one, because during Cancer season, that inner child is also prominent. So how to Six of Thought. Yeah. Peaceful times are on the horizon. The storm has passed, and now you can see that your destination is within sight. The stress in your life will begin to fade away, allowing for happier times. It may be necessary to take a journey over water or to another country. Once again, that's what we spoke about during that about that new moon in Cancer that's coming up in your ninth house. So I am sensing that because there is like this, I feel like there is just this stressful period, or just a go season, and now there's a time of sort of more peaceful energy that comes in. And then yes, there is some stuff to look at, there's some stuff to deal with, but at the same time it's very important work, because it puts you in a much more open and receiving space. So all the good energy and the good memories can also fill you back up. There's this passiveness that falls off you. And I understand, because it's sort of a coping mechanism, sort of a way to, like, a survival mode almost. And that's okay. But at the same time, a lot of things. You can miss out on a lot in that state as well. So if you stay there, even when it's no longer necessary, everything kind of becomes gray area. It's not bad, not good, fine. It's either this, that, you know. I don't really feel anything, but I also I don't feel anything against it, but also not for it. And it's like, it's tight, you know? That's a little bit that energy, which is okay, because if we have to deal with things that are quite intense, but you can't stay there if you actually want to manifest things that bring you happiness and fulfillment and emotional healing, you know. So yeah, that's just something that I'm just feeling that strongly, Capricorn. And if there comes up to this big, you know, like release, that's okay. You know how to handle that. Just don't unleash it on someone that has literally nothing to do with it, okay? That's the only thing. Once again, it's about how we say things. Okay. Sometimes you run away from that blow up moment, but love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine word, Scorpio. Choose loving thoughts. Also, mostly, first and foremost, towards yourself. All right. Well, that's your reading for the month of July. I hope there was something in that is helpful. Thank you so much for being here and, you know, sharing your presence here. I appreciate it a lot. Have a beautiful month of July, and I'll be back soon. All right. Bye. Scorpios, bye.